So yeah, we are going to finish the class project that we started last class. Um, the idea of this is that you can share whatever you could gather from a last class interview to your classmate with the rest of the group. So we are going to be taking turns in order to do that. Of course, I'm going to be asking you who wants to volunteer and then wants to continue, because I don't like forcing people to participate, but I definitely want you to participate all. So yeah, that would be lovely of you if you started participating without me having to push you a little bit. Just remember that what we need to do is just share with the rest of the group what we gathered. All right. So there's no need to tell all the 17 questions that I asked you to ask to your classmate. Is actually just a summary of whatever you asked, or whatever information you gathered from your peers last class. All right, so yeah, it's going to be something, I don't want to be too pushy. It's not an exam, so don't worry. I'm just trying to have you speak. And also, this is something important, I'm going to be evaluating your use of the present simple, the s at the end of the verb. So if you're going to talk about another person, remember, please remember to add the s at the end of the verb. She does, she goes, she lives, she writes, right, etc. Whatever you say in the present simple, talking about another person, you need to use the s at the end of the verb. Also, another mistake that I commonly hear is using the, how do you call this? The auxiliary verb, the wrong auxiliary verb, actually. If you're talking about he, she, or it, you need to use the auxiliary verb doesn't, all right? So that's also a very important thing to consider, a very important thing to keep in mind. So please, oh please, don't mix it up with don't. It's not the same. So yeah, please be careful with those little things. Also, if you're going to be talking about the past, please make sure that you can ask the correct question, all right? Well, in all the past forms, well, I don't mean just questions, because yeah, the question is one thing. When you are actually saying the past, what we have is that sometimes you forget to include the correct auxiliary verb when you are asking a question. So you're not saying did. Instead, you are using different auxiliaries, or sometimes you are not using an auxiliary verb at all, and what you are doing is to just include the verb in the past. So remember, in questions and in negative sentences, we don't use the verb in the past. We use it in the base form. And we use the verb in the past only in affirmative sentences. Also, be careful with the pronunciation of regular verbs. Okay, so it's not a good idea to say leave it, like it, watch it, which are the things that I almost always hear. All right, so please, oh please, be careful with the pronunciation of the past simple. I was hearing your audios, because if you remember, a few weeks ago, I asked you to record yourself reading, and what you were reading, it was a text in the past simple. All right, so I want you to remember that text that I shared with you, because in that text I was using the color reds, yes, the color reds to mark those times where you needed to pronounce the E at the end of the verb, and I was using light blue for those times where you didn't have to pronounce the E at the end of the verb. All right, so remember, we are not going to say leave it, like it, watch it. We are going to say lived, watched, liked, etc. Right? So careful with those little things. I'm going to be paying attention to them because, yeah, as I told you, it is important to me to see how well you are doing these little skills in order to see how ready you are for this level, right? So yeah, that's pretty much the idea. Having said that, we are going to start. In case I don't have volunteers, I'm going just to ask you to look at my wheel because I have a wheel of names, and we are going to be using that to pick up the person who needs to start present. All right, so again, let me remind you, what you need to do is to just share whatever information you gathered. It's not necessary to tell me the questions. I don't need the questions. I just want you to tell me fluently what information you gather from your classmates. So don't tell me the questions, just tell me the answers. And just the most relevant, the ones you remember, the ones you want to share. It's not necessary that you share all the 17 answers, all right? That's pretty much the idea of today's activity. So who wants to start? Do we have a volunteer? Or do you want me to use my wheel? Marcelo, do you want to start?
Yes, why not?
Cool, I like it. All right. Yes. So whenever you're ready, let's go.
Okay. Well, I have the opportunity to know about Sergio Estrada's life. Sergio is one of our classmates. He's from Potosí, and in his earliest years, for his family attending a medical advice, recommend them to move to Cochabamba because a skin disease, a skin problem with him. Since then, many years, he lives in Cochabamba, and he recognizes himself as a Cochabambino. No? He loves this city. He is a very interesting person because he had studied 3 careers. First of all, informatics, then communications, and the last one was philosophy. But it's not all. He's about to get his master's degree in economics also. So it's a very kind of intellectual person, something like that. He teach at UCB about plots, scripts of films and things like that. And his life was full of memories, some very happy and funny, and others one not in the same way. For example, he had an serious car accident many years ago while was finishing his first career at university. Then, while he was teaching with his students, they have to visit a mining camp, a silver mining or something like that, and he told me that they had eaten a beer, a kind of grizzly beer from Cochabamba, from the rural part of Cochabamba. Then he has a dream, is visit Uruguay. He has a very close and good friend from Córdoba, Argentina, who teach him to talk bad words, malas palabras, or something like that. he laughs a lot while talking this way because he's like an intellectual and not, we don't expect here talking in that casual way, no? What else? Uh, well, I think it's all.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thank you very much, Marcelo. That was very fun. And yeah, I didn't know that much about Sergio. I know he's a very good writer because whenever he writes his text, he's very good at that. So yeah, thank you for sharing that information.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was going to mention that, yeah, we had one sentence that Marcelo said. He said that Sergio teach at USB, but we have to say he teaches. Remember, ES at the end of the verb. So he teaches at USB. Also, the rural part of Cochabamba, it's better to say the rural area of Cochabamba.
Area.
Area,
Okay.
yes. Yeah. Other than that, it's
Thanks.
perfect. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Yep. Good. Who wants to continue? I thought I saw some people raising their hands. Do we have another volunteer? Nico, let's go. Hi, Nicole.
Hi, hi Val, hi everyone. So I was talking with Molly. Molly is a chemical engineer. She loves to travel and she likes to trip at least 3 times in the year. The last trip she made was with her parents, and she went to Machu Picchu. Normally, she prefers to organize the trip by herself because she didn't like the pressure to wake up early and to have a complicated schedule. Also, she thinks after the visit to Machu Picchu that some neighborhoods in Peru are very similar to Cochabamba or to La Paz. She also has traveled to Trinidad this year and was really amazed by swimming with pink dolphins. And she told me that she was bitten by mosquitoes. Molly says that she said that she knows all the departments of Bolivia and also many countries abroad. When she was a girl or a child, she didn't met any of her grandparents, but she got a friend of the family who was a German friend who used to visit Bolivia frequently because he had a foundation, and she regrets that she didn't visit him in Germany before the man passed away.
Oh.
And that was a little resume or summarize of our talk.
Yeah, very good. A little summary. Very good. Yes.
Summary.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much. It was perfect. Yeah, no comments to be made here. Thank you, Nico. Yes. Good. All right. Who else who wants to continue? Do we have another volunteer? Right. Don't worry because I have my wheel ready. Let me see if you can see it. Oops. Okay. Let's go. Yeah. Do we have Alejandra in the room? We have Alejandra as the chosen one. It's not Michael.
But she
Yes.
says she's in the airport.
All right. Yeah, she's in the airport. So let me go again. Thank you very much for telling me. I read that. And we have Mario. Do we have Mario in the room? We do. I saw Mario.
Yes. Hello. Hi.
Hi.
But I had a little problem with my computer since I was not in my home last class.
Oh.
So in the very beginning, it shut it down, and I couldn't reconnect. I didn't this do this exercise. I'm so
You
sorry.
didn't do it. All right. So can you tell us about another person that you know? Probably a relative, a friend.
I must speak about. I shall speak about a friend, right? Let me think.
Let us give you some
Yeah.
time to think about it if you want to, or
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll come back to you. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yes. Right. Good.
Thank you. Thank
No
you.
problem. Good. Let's go now with Nancy. Nancy, do you want to continue?
Good evening, Valeria.
Hey.
My interview with Guillermo, he is Guillermo Sanchez. He is a professor at the Catholic University and UMSA. His profession is business engineer. He's like a doctor in his area because he's a master in small business. He loves to diagnose the economical and financial situation of companies. He is working is similar as a doctor diagnoses the health of person situation. The financial engineer diagnoses the situation of a company. He has to make a diagnosis based of indicators such as liquidity and profitability. Liquidity is when the company can assume all its expense and be profitable. Ay, es dificultosa esta parte. And profitability is when the company covers all its obligations over a certain period of time and increase its capital. His greatest experience in his work is proposing economic and financial strategies his companies and increase its capital. To be healthy, a company must have good liquidity, solvency, and profitability. Is he regrets not having studied English a long time ago because that helps him a lot in his work because most of the economic theories and authors write in English. He usually sleeping in the normal position on the right, in special, so as not to compress the heart. He doesn't think there is anything about it in her memories.
All right. Yeah, very good. Thank you very much for sharing, Nancy. Very good job. Thank you very much. And yeah, let me just take some notes. All right, let's continue. Marcelo, let's go.
Okay, thank you, Valeria. Good evening, everyone. And okay, I want to tell you that today was not my best day. I have a very difficult day because I broke my phone. Let me show you. It was an accident at the evening. A lot of things that I was doing in the evening, but yeah. I want to tell you or talking about my partner who is Ludmila Borges, and really we was talking about I think a very fluid conversation, not by not by let me remember the outline. We don't have an outline with our conversation, but our conversation was very fluid about different things about our lives, our experience. Ludmila is a lawyer, and he has a lot of experience and different kinds of jobs. For example, I don't take a lot of notes about her, but one of those things that I take in my notes is that, for example, she's from Bermejo. She's a lawyer. She's from Bermejo. She is specialized in constitutional law, and one of her great experience that was that she was an internship at international court, talking about academical or work experience that she have. And apart from that, we are talking about, for example, our experience and the exterior of the different countries. For example, she lives in Costa Rica, and she has different experience at the airport. We're talking about our experience at the airport around the time of before when the pandemic begins to start around the world. He has he needs to come back from home, and he have a lot of problems at the airport in Costa Rica, for example. And we was talking about, for example, the sensation, I don't know how to say, but we are talking about how the people thinks about the Bolivian people. We're talking about, for example, they are think from Bolivian people that we are, for example, campesinos. I don't know how to say in English. All of Bolivian people, he thinks that Bolivian people, all of us are campesinos. And one personal experience that I have in Spain was the first thing that the other people talked to me when I met. It's, for example, she asked me, where are you from? And I said, I am from Bolivia. And the first question that the people in Spain asked me was, do you have Coke? Was the first question that the people asked to me. And so it was a weird experience of the people in the another country. And well, I think that was a reason for our conversation we had.
All right. Yeah, very good. So you were not following the questions, but you found your own topics, which is good also, as long as you were talking.
We don't have an outline
Yeah.
to interview, but it was very interesting for me.
Yeah, I realized because I was hearing some parts of it. So yeah, thank you very much. Campesino, you can say like farmer, or you can say country person. Both options are good. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Good, no problem, thank you. Let's go now with Nelson. Hi, Nelson.
Hi, Valeria. Good evening. Good evening, everybody there. I would like to introduce Cristina Rengel. Although I think she's not here right now because she told me that she had another class at the same time. In any case, I would like to tell you a little bit more about her profile. First of all, I would like to say you that she is an industrial engineer, and currently she works as a teacher in UCB in La Paz. She is mother of 2 wonderful boys. He enjoys baking, drawing, and painting portraits. Like an industrial engineer, he loves the process of detecting and solving problems. In her work experience, she has developed leadership skills, in working abilities, and she is a good listener. But in her life, she regrets to not having traveled more frequently before having her kids. Um, she, if she were forced to leave Bolivia, she would love to relocate to Switzerland. Even she's a mother of 2 kids, she still loves candies like a little girl. About her sentimental issues, she has been broken her heart only once. And that's why I believe she said that love is blind. Her parents met when they were 17 years old. She loves the song Dubi Dubi Chapa Chapa. That's her kids love it. Finally, she wouldn't steal anything, even she has the chance. Okay, thank you. That's all.
All right. Yeah, very good summary. I liked it very much. It was funny also. So thank you very much, Nelson.
No
Good.
problem.
Let's go with Molly now, please.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Hi, Molly.
Oh, well, I had a lovely interview with Nicole Garcia. She's a business administrator and a professor. Turns out that we met last year in an English session at the university. We both work in the university in different departments. And she's 41 years old, an only daughter, with a lot of pets. She has 4 dogs and 4 cats. She's an animal lover. And she's as passionate about traveling as me. And I found out that she's a travel agency too. Most of the interview we discussed about trips, especially because I was amazed to find out that you wrote the example that you both showed us about cruises and the pros and cons and all the experience that she had. She shared with me some anecdotes, some routes like South Caribbean, Harmony of the Seas, and other companies that she went to those trips, and all the pros and cons of that kind of trips, and how to get a discount and things like that. It was really interesting. And she also shared with me her experience about Disney. She went there many times. I was amazed to find out that. Now, Turkey, Dubai, and Tokyo by Chris is in her bucket list, are in her bucket list. And her regret was not going to Mexico because back at that time, her mother had an illness, and also his grandmother had a hip fracture. Well, she regrets that, but hopefully she will do it. Another curious fact is that she sleeps on her stomach. We run out of time to discuss more about other questions. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you very much, Molly. That was a very good summary. Yeah, I heard you guys talking about traveling. So yeah, you had that topic in common. So yeah, thank you very much for sharing. Let's go now with Ale. Alejandra, are you there?
Yes, I am. Hello, Val. Hello to everybody.
Hi.
Well, I was a very nice talk to Diana. Diana is a very nice girl. She's 26 years old and she lives in Tarija. She studied business administration, but not as many people do. Come to the U without knowing what to study and then choose BA. No, from the first time she knew she wanted to be a business manager. She graduated about 3 years ago from the U and started to work in a research consultancy in her career. Then she started to work also at the UCB, but in industrial, environmental, and energy engineering. At the first time, it was a kind of difficult to get used to work with engineers. But now she feels very comfortable because they are very pragmatic. She also loves to help the students and teachers in many matters. This work makes her realize she is very organized, persistent, and flexible, so she can manage to do her work very well. She wants to travel abroad for a master scholarship. She would like to go to Spain, but she also knows that she better save some money first and also gain some laboral experience first. She has been a very focused girl since she was young. When she was in high school, she was very active in church. She still is, helping with catechesis. And she also trained taekwondo when she was young and played guitar with a very famous teacher, Professor Arduz. She even had the opportunity to play with him in a theater in Tarija. She hasn't traveled a lot, but she went to Argentina to visit an aunt and to buy some stuff. When she's there, she loves to eat milanesas and enjoy the good sightseeing and the green around. Now she lives with many women around, her mom, granny, an aunt, and 2 cousins, and 2 dogs. One is hers and is a little bit jealous of the other, who is younger and belongs to her cousin. We talk about what she would steal if she had the chance. She answered $1 million. Maybe she could use that money to go for a master degree in Spain, but I'm pretty sure she's unable to steal anything. And as I said, she is a very nice girl.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Ale. That was a very good insight of Diana. Thank you very much. Good.
You're welcome. I don't know how to manage in the cell phone. Thanks.
Yeah, no worries. All right. Who wants to continue? Do you have more volunteers, or do you want me to go back to my wheel? Sash, let's go.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Val. How are you? Well, I will introduce you our classmate, Nelson Villarreal. First of all, I want to say that it was a very funny and entertainment talk. I didn't know him, so I'm glad to know him very well now. Well, he's from Potosí, like me, so we have something in common. He is a high qualified engineer, and he decided to complement his career with an MBA master degree. So I think he's quite prepared, and he loves to work his profession. And also, he loves to teach. So it's I think it's a good professional. Yeah. He has 2 daughters, and he loves to spend time, quality time with them. And he shared with me some experience when he was a child. He was playing on the roof, and sadly he fell from the 3rd floor. So his mother took him to the hospital, but fortunately it wasn't serious, because at least he seems to be normal. Yeah, we laugh a lot with his experience. Yeah, and he's a great person, and I'm very happy to have the talk with him. That's all.
Yeah, very good. So thank you very much. We are happy to know that he's a normal person. All right, let's go with Virginia, please.
Hello, good
Hi.
evening, everyone. I would like to talk a little bit about the Lyudmila Valiuk. when we talk with her the past class, we don't talk many things about the questions, more about other things. Maybe because she was angry with the Catholic University authorities because because they put many activities, courses in the finish of the semester just when the teachers have many tasks.
That's
But
right.
okay, Lyudmila is a math professor at Catholic University. She loves her work teaching young people. She has two daughters. They speak very well English, but they don't want to teach her. She is from Ukraine and arrived in Bolivia many years ago because they got married to a Bolivian. She has studied math at the Pedagogic University in Ukraine. And she would have liked to study something else or apply it mathematics, such as economics, for example. I don't remember more things about our long session with Ludmila.
All right. Thank you very much. Virginia, you revealed the secret, but I already knew it because I was peeking there. All right. Thank you very much. All right. Let's go now with Ludmila, the other Ludmila.
Hello, Val. Hello,
Hi.
everybody. Good evening. Well, I got the opportunity to interview Marcelo Torrico, and as like he told you already, we didn't follow the questions, just we started a conversation. Well, he told me that he born in La Paz, and he studied there at the public university. He's an architect. But then he traveled to Spain and he continues his studies in Madrid. He told me that in order to be able to homologate his Bolivian title, he needed to study at least 5 years more. That's the thing that he did it. He studied the 5 years more and he finished the university in Madrid, Spain. He graduated from an architect there in Madrid, Spain, and he told me that he got married in Spain. His first son born in Spain, and he lived there for about 15 years. But then in 2011, I think Spain was in a terrible situation, economic situation. That's why he needed to go out from Spain. And a friend called him and invited him to work here in Bolivia. And he is working in Santa Cruz, Bolivia since then. And he is a professor at the Catholic University in Santa Cruz. And of course, we share some experience about travels. And he told you that it's sometimes a bit difficult to be Bolivian in another country for the experience that he tells you, or he tells everybody. So yeah, that's a little bit of our talk from the last class.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much, Ludmila. Yeah, I noticed that you weren't talking about the question. So yeah, but it was an interesting conversation. Thank you very much. All right. Who is next? Do we have more volunteers? Mauri, let's go.
Hello, Val. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Mauri.
Today, I'm going to talk about Fernando Lopez. Fernando is an industrial engineer he works at the Catholic University as a professor. He is 48 years old. And about his life, before leaving La Paz, he lived in Lima, Peru. And also he told me about some experience he has. For example, something that he regrets is to go in dangerous places. But before that, he told me that he learned something about the things that he doesn't like to do. Another thing that I remember is the thing that he loves to be in a cloud shows for kids. And also he traveled to United States the last year, I think.
Right.
That's something that I remember.
That's what you remember. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
I'm curious about the dangerous places that you mentioned, but yeah, I'm going to have to ask him about it. Thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's go now with Sergio.
Hi,
Hey, Sergio.
can you? Hi. Okay, evening, everyone. I had a chat with Marcelo Casap. Marcelo Casap works at Fair Play, a big sports store. When he started this work in this company, the company had 20 sucursals. Now it have almost 80,
Wow.
80, no, yes, 80 sucursals. It's a big company. Before this work, he used to do hard works, something like highway construction. He worked among big equipment like caterpillars, bulldozers, tractors, or something like that. And he lived in a work camp or something because his work. After those experiences, he started working in financial activities. He changed the tractors for computers, desk and office. And I guess he really enjoys his job because he loves numbers and finance. He said when he was young, he loves sports, say too. He said when he was young, he used to play tennis, but he stopped to play tennis after an ankle injury. He enjoyed a lot playing tennis. Recently, he attends the tennis matches in Tarija. I guess they were the South American championship. At first, I thought he was a very athletic person because his voice sounds like that. But he told me that he's actually a little bit overweight. I would say his weight, but he mentioned that he's not only a bit heavy, he's also tall. Then I guess he's not bulky, overweight, but healthy. I told him, I guess that his voice sounds the opposite, like that of an athletic person. So his voice sounds somewhat like that of an athletic man, an athletic person. He has very calm. His voice no sounds very calm and pleasant. He have a very pleasant voice. It's easy to talk with him because looks like confidence and pleasant. He told me that his grandfather came from Syria to Bolivia. And that's That's the reason for his last name is Kasap. He also mentioned that he's connected to descendants from Croatia or Yugoslavia, something like this. He said too that he never got to meet his grandfather because he passed away long before Marcelo was born. I would like to hear more stories about his grandfather. I guess he must have, he was a great man with a lot of stories or tales. Marcelo lives in Tarij, but this year, after his father-in-law passed away too, they are moving to Cochabamba. He said too that this move is possible because much of his work is done online through Zoom. He has a lot of interviews by this app. So I don't think finding work will be a problem for him in Cochabamba. He has a problem with his ear. He felt like there was water inside his ear. He had to see a doctor and consult a specialist. And otolaryngologist, something like that, who told him he has otitis. I don't remember much about his favorite sleeping position because I was thinking all the time about his grandfather. Okay. Because of his sister, he must to eat something he usually doesn't. He told me that during the pandemic, they celebrated with his family his sister's birthday with an online party. The theme of the party was to do something you usually don't. So he ate paella for his sister. He doesn't like seafood. He preferred pasta or pizza. Now I can understand why he is a bit overweight. Marcelo is a very pleasant and kindly person. When he arrived in Cochabamba, I hope we can go to eat maybe something we have in common, and maybe we can practice our English. That be it. Finish.
Good. Yeah, thank you very much. That's a very good idea. I support the idea of getting together and practicing English. So yeah, let's. I'm going to tell you to get together when he's here. Thank you very much, Sergio, for sharing. And now I'm very curious about his grandfather too. Good. Who is next? Do we have more volunteers? What we're missing? We're missing.
I am volunteer.
Oh, all right. Let's go, Maria Elena. Tell us.
But I'm really sorry, but I forget the name of my partner. And I try to find it, but I think that he's not in that room. If you in the room, please tell us.
I know who he is. His name is Ivan.
Yeah, Ivan, right. Yeah. Well, I think he's a interesting person. He worked in chemistry lab in Cochabamba. He told me that he was like a frozen person because he have never been in love. he say that. Well, he said, "But I'm not. I have." He said he told me that I have feelings, but I think I've never in love with a person, and we have a similar situation because our parents met when our fathers stay in like I don't know in English the word that they have to move to the another place because they are communist. For example, his father had to move to Chaco, and he met he met his wife. In this case, the Ivan's mother. In my case, my father had to go to Chile because to Chile, Santiago, and he met my mother. And because of that, we have the same situation that our parents met. He told me that he wants to go to Spain. He loves the antiques buildings, and I told him that yeah, me too. I like the ancient construction, the culture. Another thing that we share is the we like the same music. For example, the metal music. He likes Metallica. He told me that he likes to hear Enter Sandman, the song Enter Sandman. And I told him that I love the Iron Maiden, for example. Yeah. I think with all that if all that I can chat with him.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much, Maria Elena. It is a very interesting thing that you had in common, the love story of your parents. Thank you for sharing that information.
Thank you.
All right. Who wants to continue? Who's next? Nobody is next? Shall we move on? Last call. Now I can't share my wheel because I'm thinking that if I spin my wheel, we have too many people who have already spoken. So yeah, probably they are going to be up to it next. Let's go with Fernando. Let's go.
Good evening, Valeria.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Good evening to everybody. We were working on the interview exercise with Mauricio Garcia. Well, it took us around an hour, all the questions. Right now, I can say that I know more about Mauricio, but in English. He's one of my best friends, and it was very amazing to know more about him. Mauricio is an industrial engineer. He's a professional with more than 10 years of experience. Right now, he's working on a supplying company. That means that he works importing goods from many places of the world, Bolivia. So he knows the prices of the goods and how I'm going to behave in the next month. I asked him about some prices of goods, and he didn't want to tell me. Okay, about what he gained in his career. He's a professional with a very deep analysis. He has very outstanding skills in analysis. Something that he regrets in his life is that he used to buy cars very frequently. I know that he changed his cars every 3 years, and every time is a better car, the ones that he buys. And talking about the sleeping position, and he usually sleeps as he usually takes the baby position. No, I mean the position that has a baby when it's inside a mother. The dumbest way he have been hurt is when he tried to ride a motorcycle with all the practice needed. He hurt his arm, and right now he ride a motorcycle, but it's not the best way he moved from one place to another. The weirdest thing that he have ever eaten is wasabi. Yeah, wasabi. Wasabi it's a complement in sushi food. Yeah, I think so. And talking about a place that he preferred to live, he wants to, if he considered to move to some place, he wants to live in a modern city, something like London, something like, I'm not sure if he said New York. And talking about something that he still do, but he thinks that he's too old to do it, is to play video games. No, but I think most of the boys do that until the end of their years. Talking about how many times he had his heart broken, he told me that more than 3 times. He didn't tell me exact number, but more than 3 times. He talking about music. He like Warren 5. Yeah, Warren 5. The last topic that we talk about is something that he could steal, and he told me that he wants maybe he will steal time to anybody. Those are the things that we have been talking with Mauricio.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much, Fernando. That's a very good summary of Mauricio. I got to know a lot about him. So thank you. Thank you for sharing. Now let's go with Miguel. So Miguel, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Hello, good evening, everybody. I'm going to talk about Edmundo Villa. I am used to join a group with him because it's not, I don't know, small groups always put us together. Well, Edmundo is a mechatronic engineer. He is 41 and he has one daughter called Martina. He studied in Univalle and he graduated on 2005. And he is almost, he has almost 20 years of experience. He teaches exactly in UCB since 2015. So he has a lot of experience as a teacher. He loves his career, especially things related with coding and the synergy that mechatronics is. He thinks that as a teacher, he gained experience as a listener. He used to listen people helping to reach the solutions to their problems, especially when they are related to a final project of career. He loves his career, but he only regrets about something that is the first job he had, because he thinks that that job were a waste of time because he didn't learn too much, and he was there almost 8 years. He likes toys and cartoons. He thinks it's too old for that, but still likes. He had an accident. He told me he had an accident when he was 8 in a bike. He was riding his bike on the street, and one dog attacked him and bite his leg. He doesn't know how his parents met. Doesn't have a special song that always sounds in his mind, but he admits that when he listened a song, especially salsa, in the radio, he can have that song all the day in his mind. I think that's all. That's it. That is how Edmundo is.
All right. Yeah, very good. Thank you for sharing. You remembered a lot of details, so thank you for sharing all that information. All right, now let's go with someone else who wants to continue. We are missing 1, 2, 3, and 4 people. Mario, are you ready to go?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to talk about a friend of mine. I think he's so funny. He's always in a good mood and never says no to me. He speaks just just a little bit. He is so smart also. He surprised me every time we spend time together. And he's so loyal. He is and was always with me by my side. He's my dog. He's my dog. His name is Ponyo.
That was a surprise.
Thank you.
Plot
Okay.
twist. Right,
Yes.
very good. That was funny. Thank you very much.
No,
All right,
welcome.
let's go with someone else who wants to continue. We still have,
Okay, I'm ready.
yeah, Guillermo, let's go.
Good evening, all. I'm going to tell you about Nancy. Our colleague, Nancy Vaca, was born in Potosí. However, she has lived in Cochabamba for many years. She likes vegetarian food and practice volleyball. About the professional side, she is an anthropologist and professor of that subject in UCB. She says she wants to travel to other parts of the world, the other side of the world, such as Cairo, the Himalayan mountains, the Chinese Wall, etc., etc. She also likes to know more about these cultures. For example, learning about their traditional customs, their rituals, and finally, writing about her experience. She likes to read a lot about the forms of a relationship that exist between different cultures. And from a professional scientific point of view, she prefers to apply non-invasive methods whose characteristics are especially three in terms of the problem under study. First, to find what people think about that problem. Second, know how people consider themselves. And third, know why people experience the problem. Well, from my point of view, as a business administrator, I think that Nancy knows can serve to achieve greater financial inclusion for the population, especially in rural areas. She is an excellent person and very good professional.
That's it? Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Guillermo. That's a very good memory. He remembered many details. All right. Anyone else that wants to continue? We have 3 people who are missing. I'm not going to make you speak. So let me know if you want to continue.
Hi, Gaval. Good evening.
Hey, hi, Axel. How are you?
I was waiting to the end because I was unable to be in the last class. So I don't know what should I do.
All right. Well, yeah, we were supposed to be interviewing our partners and then share it with the group. So yeah, we can have you do it for next class then, or something different, because yeah, if you're not sure what to do, it's like kind of a tricky thing. But don't worry, I'll keep getting in touch with you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. So we are missing Ivan and Ludmila. Do you want guys to speak, or do you want to miss it?
Okay.
Let's go, Ivan.
Well, I'm talking with Liana, sorry. She introduced myself. Well, I know she works as public relationships, and she learned to be patient with that because of their customers and also because of their students. I think we share something there to be more patient. She told me about, she asked myself, she regrets many things, and perhaps they are very similar also. In my case, is that I'm very shy and indecisive. And she perhaps she has something like that, and perhaps she lost some jobs opportunity. Perhaps me too. I don't know. Something that stayed with me is she sleeps on her right side. She doesn't know why, me neither. That's stay with me because sometimes I hear that it's bad for one to sleep on their left side because of the heart. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's stay with me. What else? About our parents, yeah, that's it. Both of our fathers left the country because of the dictatorship of Banzer, okay? And both of our parents went to Chile. There's a clarification: when my parent sneaked back to Bolivia, he went a long way from to across the oriental side of Bolivia. So that's how he met with my mother in the Chaco. He went from the north to the south. Yeah. I don't remember if her heart was broken in 2 times or she fell in love 2 times. I don't remember that, but yeah, something like that. Sorry, Elena. Elena, sorry. And what else? We also agree in music. She said that. He said that, and we also agree on the color yellow is a very bright color. I don't remember the word for chillón, we say it in Spanish. No, but yes, it is bright, I think.
Right, yeah.
And also she agreed with me if she had to steal something, it will be the Vatican.
That's
The
a very
bank
good
and-
idea. I agree too.
Okay, that's all I think.
All right, good. Thank you very much, Ivan. Yeah,
Okay,
that
thank
was
you.
a very good idea, stealing the Vatican. I hadn't thought of that.
There's a lot of money.
Yeah. Don't say that at university though.
Can we delete this part from the video, please?
Yeah, I'll cut it. Don't worry.
Exactly.
All right, thank you very much. Ludmila, do you want to continue? Ludmila is very shy now.
No, I have to continue.
You have to. You're the last one.
I don't want, but I have. So just a moment. I have to open the camera.
Yeah, all right.
Hello, everyone. So yesterday I spoke with Virginio Avila. Virginio Avila is a part-time teacher at the Catholic University, and also he is a coordinator of Innovative Center at the Catholic University. He has been working at the university for 20 years. As a teacher, of course, he likes to teach, but as a coordinator of Innovative Center, he likes to influence to people. I want to mention some ideas about previous sentences. The years of experience of Virginio show him that the students have special abilities to study, to learn, and special abilities to create the new innovative ideas. And the Virginio is fascinated by helping them to transform, to turn these ideas into the real life and their own business. Also, Virginio love to see the professional growth of their students. That is all. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Ludmila. And also we know that Virginia loves to share secrets, so don't tell secrets to Virginia. All right. Yeah, good. That was good. I was taking some notes. I think we didn't do something like this last course. I don't remember, but I remember we did it on a previous course, the course before last one. And I was also taking notes when by that time I had to take many notes of mistakes that people were making in the class, but now it's not that much, so I'm very happy about your progress. Yeah, the common ones are always the same, like not using the S at the end of the verb. That's less common than it used to be a few years ago, but still, for example, he teaches, he lives. Also pronouncing the ed or not pronouncing it. So he graduated. You cannot say he graduate because it's in the past. Yeah, and we didn't have much problem with vocabulary either. So yeah, I was happy about it. Also, when you are talking about the past, please make sure that you use the correct form of the verb to be. So we were, no, don't say we was. That's something that I noticed in a few people. Yeah, we were amazed, we were happy, all those kind of things. And what else? Let me see if I have something like important. Yeah, using the past form when it's necessary. For example, he teach him in the past. No, he taught him in the past, right? So careful with the past form. I know that when we are speaking, sometimes we forget to use the past form of the verbs. Yeah, because we are thinking about other things. But yeah, we need to be more conscious about conjugating the verb in the past when it is necessary. All right, so yeah, I recommend paying attention to that. Other than that, I think we did a very good job. I'm very pleased about hearing you. Thank you everyone for your effort. I really appreciate it. Something else that I wanted to mention was that we got the chance to practice passive, well, it's not passive, but it's reported speech, which is something that we are going to review later, but later on the course, not later tonight. So yeah, I was happy to hear some people using reported speech very well. This is what I am talking about, Unit 11. So reported speech. He said that, he told me that, he mentioned that. So yeah, most of you did a very good job using the reported speech structure. Yeah, I'm happy about it. We are going to come back to that before finishing the course. So yeah, it is important to keep it in mind. But still, I have to congratulate those of you who used it correctly, because yeah, in this specific topic, it was very necessary to use reported speech and these structures that help us communicate what other people mentioned. All right, so yeah, congrats also on that. Last class, I told you that we were going to talk about models of deduction. We don't have much time now, but still I'm going to introduce the topic. So next class we can develop on the topic. I'm also going to give you some homework, but yeah, I'm going to talk about the homework later. So models of deduction, it's just modal verbs. Okay, so don't get too worried about the topic. I know it sounds like something very difficult, but it's not, I promise. It's just using modal verbs like must, might, may, could, can't to make deductions. Yeah, that's where we are going to work on. So let's have a look at these examples. Let me put some bullet points here, bullet points. So that must be the main entrance. I can see people queuing to get in. So I can see people. There we have a modal verb. Let me mark it. Or I've lost my keys. They might be at work or they could be in the car. All right, so here we are using two modal verbs. Let me mark it so you can identify them clearly. Another example that we have here is that you can't be bored already. You've only been here for 5 minutes, right? So when we hear or when we read these examples, it's not very obvious how they are used, all right? So we are going to develop a little bit on each of them so you can see how they work. So let's have a look at the grammar explanation first. The grammar explanation tells us that we can use modal verbs for deduction, which means guessing if something is true using the available information. All right, so yeah, We already know what deduction means, but just in case you don't know, you're not familiar with the concept, it's guessing information apart, starting from some evidence that we may have. Well, the modal verb we choose shows us how certain we are about the possibility. This page focuses on making deductions about the present or the future, all right? So we are going to talk about deductions specifically in the present and the future. Maybe tonight we are going to review a little bit of both, but then next class we're going to get into that more deeply. So again, look at this. Whenever we have studied modal verbs, we have talked about possibility. And I have told you a lot of times about the degrees of possibility that we have when we use modal verbs. Okay, so this is the same. We are using the same degrees of possibility to talk about deductions in this case. Now let's see what this degree looks like. So we have the modal verb must. Let me mark it with another color. So we use must when we feel sure. This is very important. When we feel sure that something is true, or it's one, or it's the only realistic possibility. All right, so must would be at the top. This is how sure I am, must. Let's see some examples about it. That's going to help us understand. So this must be her house. This must be her house. I can see her in the garage. All right, so this must be. I'm pretty sure that this is her house. If I'm using must, it's because I know. Like I have a lot of evidence that this is her house. So this must be her house. He must live near here because he always walks to work. All right, so what do I have? Some evidence. I have seen him walking to work. So I'm very sure that this is true. All right, so he must live near here. That's my evidence. My evidence is that he walks to work. So I'm pretty sure that he must live near here. Finally, come inside and get warm. You must be freezing. You must be freezing. So I know that out there it's freezing. So I kind of have that evidence. So you must be freezing out there. I'm pretty sure that you are freezing out there because I know the weather is cold tonight, for example. All right. So when you use must to express a deduction that you're making, is because you are pretty sure that this deduction is real or it's true. Then we have some other possibilities. All right, so again, remember that must would be at the top. Let me be drawing this so it can help us. If we talk about possibility, we are going to have must at the top. I'm pretty sure that what I'm saying is true. Then we have a might, may, and could. All right, so let me mark them with another color. So might, may, and could. So we use might, may, or could to say that we think something is possible, but we're not so sure, right? This is important. In the previous one, we were very sure that this was true. In might, may, and could, we are not so sure. We have some evidence, it is possible, but we are not completely sure. Let's have a look at the examples again. So she's not here yet. She might be stuck in traffic. I cannot be 100% sure that she's stuck in traffic. This is what I think because of the time, because I know that traffic in the city is a little messy. All right, so yeah, I can, starting from those points, I can deduct that she might be stuck in traffic. The second example, he's not answering, he could be in class, right? So again, I'm not sure, this is like my theory, right? So he's a university student. At this time, people usually have classes, so he could be in class. There's a possibility, there's a chance. Finally, we regret to inform you that some services may be delayed due to the bad weather. All right, so again, I'm not so sure, but there's a possibility, there's a chance that the services may be delayed. All right, so I still have some evidence. I'm looking around and I see some things that give me the idea of that possibility. But again, I'm not completely sure. I'm in the middle. So when you're using must, you are completely sure. Right? So that would be the difference between may, might, and could, and must. If we're talking about degrees of possibilities, I would use it like this. Could, then may, and finally might. We use might when we are the least sure, right? So yeah, there's still a degree between those three. And finally, we can talk about can't, which is still talking about possibility. Let me mark it with another color. So can't, we use can't when we feel sure that something is not possible, right? So it's at the bottom because I'm sure this is impossible. So for example, let me use some bullet points here. Oops. Let me copy this. So it can't be far now. We've been driving for hours. All right, so I have the evidence of us driving, so it can't be far because yeah, it would be impossible that it's far if we have been driving for hours. Then we have she can't know about the complaint. She's promoted him to team leader, right? So she can't know about the complaint. I'm pretty sure that it is impossible for her to know about it. And finally, we have it can't be easy for him looking after 3 kids on his own, right? So I'm pretty sure that it is impossible that it's easy for him, right? So we are going to use can't in the same way as must because we are pretty sure, but it's in the negative form. All right, so must for affirmative sentences and can't for negative sentences, but both for when you are very sure about your evidence that you have, right? So they are at the same level in different sides because one is affirmative, one is negative. Must is affirmative, can't is negative, right? So that's how it would work, right? So yeah, that's the idea with modal verbs. This was just a review of modal verbs because I know that you are already familiar with modal verbs, but there's always the need for you to review them a little bit. So these degrees of possibility or certainty are very useful for deciding which modal verb we need to use, right? So remember that it's not the same using must than might. There's a big difference, all right? So in Spanish, we may not have this difference, but in English, we have it and it is important. And so that's why I wanted to make this little review. Next class, we are going to be talking about the past. And the past is just a little bit more tricky or trickier. All right, so my homework for you is going to be related to this. I'm going to have you watch a video, like an introductory video to the past modals of deduction. So next class, you are already familiar with the topic because, again, it's not so difficult, but it is something that we need to pay attention to because we are going to be using have plus the modal verb. Right? So we have another ingredient. So yeah, I'm going to share the video with you on WhatsApp. So please watch it before the next class. So next class, we know what we are doing. And of course, we are going to be working on this. If you want to review this document that I have right here, you can review it on your personal folders because I'm going to make a copy for all of you and you can have this summary on your folders in case you want to study. I also recommend reading this part of the document before the class so you are already familiar with the topic. But yeah, the homework is related to the video. All right, so yeah, I'm not gonna take more of your time. Thank you very much, guys, for today's talking. I am very pleased about it. Don't forget, please, about the homework. I'm going to remind you on WhatsApp anyways. And if you have extra questions, stay with me a little longer. Otherwise, you may leave and I'll be seeing you on Saturday. Thank you very much for coming.